Yo, it's your boy Luap coming back at it again with another Pokemon Journeys episode review. In today's video, we will review episode 83, the Cleffa that became a star, giving a recap of the episode as well as my overall thoughts on the episode. We will also do our predictions for episode 84, Lucario Night Adventure on Mega Island, based on its preview trailer. As always, if you enjoy these weekly episode reviews as well as weekly discussion videos, I highly encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe. Timestamps for the predictions, review, and recap are all down below. With all that out of the way, let's get started on our recap of episode 83. So the episode begins with our character of the day, Kirarara, as she is seen talking to herself at a playground with an unknown seemingly stalking her. It suddenly then turns the sky into nighttime. We then get Ash and Go going to the lab where Professor Cerise tells them that it was nighttime in Johto, and when the day changed, it was still night. Ash says in an iconic line that if it's always nighttime, then when are they supposed to eat breakfast? Which genuinely made me laugh out loud. Ash and Go then go off to the Johto region to investigate the reasons behind this darkness. They arrive in a small town in the Johto region, and even though it's morning, it is indeed dark and people are rushing to get to work. They then talk to an old man who explains how it's now been nighttime for a week, and it's been like this. Grookey is being best boy in the background as usual, and it leads Go to catching a Murkrow. With no sunlight, of course, most flowers have died, but it's okay because Best Boy is here to the rescue. They see a shooting star in the sky and run into our character of the day, who introduces herself, and after Ash and Go do the same, she gets a flashback with a Cleffa, so you know this is going to be a sad episode. She says she likes stars because she wants to guess which one is Cleffa because Cleffa became a star. The backstory as explained by her mom is that the Cleffa died and went to the sky, so to make her daughter feel better, she said that it became a star, and that's why she's so obsessed with them. Kirarara then explains that she saw a Pokemon which was terribly explained, and that's when all of this started. Go has an idea of what might be happening, so he goes to the local library, and Pikachu runs towards a character, and yeah, that's a smart Pikachu. It's none other than Cynthia, who's there also on some research. Go is also fangirling at Cynthia, and honestly, who can blame him? He also identified the Pokemon as being unknown, so good for him. After explaining the situation to Cynthia, she joins them and they go further to investigate. They go to confirm their findings to Kirara, who then says they were right and explains what happened to them on that day in detail. It was so cool that the unknown spelled night, and then the sequence that happened after was pretty cool to see. Kirarara refuses to find a way to return to daytime because she wants to see Cleffa, and after some cool shadow Pokemon battles made by Unown, Cynthia shows off how much of a badass she is by handling it flawlessly. Finally, the Unknown show off a sad montage of her memories with Cleffa growing up, and I honestly got a little teary-eyed here, but Kirarara finally settles on an understanding and lets go of Cleffa. The episode then ends with Ash telling her that she will always be friends with Cleffa. Now let me tell you my thoughts. I thought this was a pretty decent episode. Right off the bat, we got a Go catch, which is my favorite weekly thing to get because Go haters just line up all the comments. On top of that, this episode takes place in Johto, which I'm always happy to see represented. I will say that they handled this episode really well in terms of emotion too. We had funny, sad, and cool moments all throughout the episode. At first I thought it was kinda cheesy, but I honestly grew to like this episode by the end of it. I think for me personally, I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. On one hand, this episode seemed very familiar to the third movie from the little I do remember watching it, but on the other hand, it was very touchy and feelsy. It's not easy to handle death in the Pokemon series, but I think they did a fantastic job of doing that in a 20-minute time span. I like that Cynthia in this episode was really cool, but she didn't really prove her strength to me. Yeah, she handled the Unknown well, but it could have literally been any other character in her place, and I don't think much would have changed. Other than that, I would say it was solid pacing, and a lot feels like it happened in the span of 20 minutes. This next episode looks really promising. From the audio and what I could gather, it's not much that we already didn't know. Ash is going to Mega Island with Karina in search of a Lucario Night. There are a bunch of Pokemon that can Mega Evolve there like Salamence, Pidgeot, and Alakazam. Alakazam is under the ownership of that man with a beard that can make anyone jealous. My guess is that he is kind of like a trial captain that will test Ash to see if he is worthy of obtaining the Lucario Night. He might also be testing other trainers that have a Pidgeot and a Salamence too, or those could be his Pokemon which are aiding him in testing Ash. My predictions are that by the end of the episode, Ash will have of course obtained the Lucario Night, and will be on his way to Challenge B. Perhaps he'll get a Rotom call at the end of the episode like what happened with Volkner at the end of the Alola episode. So yeah, those are my thoughts on today's episodes as well as my predictions for the next one. But of course, I'd love to hear what you guys thought of today's episode or what you guys think is going to happen in the next one. It is truly fun to interact and talk about these episodes with you guys in the comments of each and every episode review. And I can't believe we've done over 20 of these at this point, which is crazy because originally I wasn't going to do episode reviews, but I just decided to do one, and honestly it's been history ever since. If you guys made it this far into the video, as always I truly want to thank you. And it's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.